Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late August 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Capricorns in late August as we move from Leo season into Virgo, one of your fellow earth signs? Let's see what energies, messages, insights we could take a little peek at. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the Cappies in late August. What's the vibe? What's the energy? Let's get this card out nice and quick. We're going to have some fun today, my friends. And that card, yeah, popped out. Ask and you shall receive. And we're starting here with this lovely Empress type of energy, which to me is always a pretty good sign. Even if you got some choppiness going on, we always welcome the Empress type of energy, big goddess vibes. And I always like it because there's an abundance. That's like the overarching theme. Now, before we fully get into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the August subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk about this lovely energy that we're starting off with. So if you take a look here at the imagery, we have this lady here. She's chilling. She's got the tree of life tattooed on her back. She is in nature. She is surrounded by the animals and the plant life. It's just super vibrant and abundant to me. Now, for some Capricorns, this could literally represent needing a little bit of time in nature to hit the reset button, right? I always like this card because when I think of the Empress, I think of abundance and blessings. In the classical image of the Empress, I mean, she is Venus energy, but she has a big pregnant belly. She has pomegranates all over her dress. So to me, I think of an exuberance. I think of a lot of really good overflowing energy. So this is a great sign. And it lines up with what I've been picking up for a few weeks now. So even if you're cross-watching for a Capricorn, this is a good sign because it could tell us that we're moving towards a very positive outcome. Now, the only downside to the Empress is that sometimes it could be a little cabin fevery, right? Like this energy, yeah, it's nurturing, loving, caring. But if you're dealing with any things or situations that are making you feel a little stuck, a little smothered, a little cornered, right? Like the Empress can sometimes be that. But to me, we're just going to look at the abundance and goddess energy, right? So we're going to let her chill right there. She's having a moment. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So it was titled Big Breakthrough Incoming, and I really like that too, because what I was picking up was a buildup of energy, like something that may have been building up for a while, or that you've been working towards for a while, where there's suddenly big action or forward progress. So that's usually pretty good, whether it's work, personal relationships. It's like, okay, now we're starting to see results. So remember, that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. So hopefully you do have a few breakthroughs coming in. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Capricorn to start. Yeah, and it's been like several weeks now where there's been this really nice overarching energy around the Capricorns, which I really like. But we're going to have to take a look at this guy. Okay, we got the 7 of Swords in position number 1. What are you doing there, my friend? What are you doing there with all those swords? Let's get a couple more. Okay, Ace of Pentacles. Maybe it's communication based. This is a pretty good energy in the center. But my eyes are locked on that 7 of Swords for some reason. It's like, oh, okay. I don't want to say red alert just yet, but even here on the back end, we have like the 2 of Swords. A lot of questions, a lot of mystery is what we're starting off with here with both of these cards combined. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, you know me, I always love to look at the elements. I feel like it builds a nice foundation and it paints a little picture for us. You have 2 elements here, not too bad. I mean, it is a little skewed towards the air energy, which isn't too rough, but you see the air and the earth. This is your comfort zone right here in the center. Now, when it comes to air, I always say that's the realm of logic. It's the realm of perception. Information is huge when it comes to the air element. It's extremely cerebral, very smart, very sharp, super intelligent, and a very active mind. But the biggest thing with it is getting answers to questions, right? Like I'm either giving information, receiving information, or searching for it. That's always huge with the air. That's why it is the suit of communication. And notice we have the suit of communication and a card of communication. There's a lot of chit chat going on here. Now, the downside to air is that sometimes it could be a little in its mind, a little bit in its head. It could be a little anxious, nervous, all that kind of stuff. But it can also be very cold and detached. So I'm not sure if certain Capricorns, you might be going through some things where you're like, all right, I'm getting cold towards that thing. Very possible. But in the center, we have beautiful earth. Now, as an earth sign, that's your power element, that's your comfort zone. This is cool. This is like my home base that I'm picking up in this reading so far. Now, when I see earth, I think of results. I think of stability, whether it's inner or outer. It's like I'm nice, solid, stable, protected. I really like earth for that. It could be home, family, work, money, finances, investments. So anything of the material world falls under this earthy umbrella. And for a Capricorn, it's usually a very positive thing. The downside to Earth is it's a little slow sometimes. It's an energy that is very detailed, very meticulous. Sometimes it could take a while to actually see results. So remember how I was saying last week I saw a slow build up to a breakthrough? I mean, the downside with Earth could be delays. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we start with the Seven of Swords. I wasn't expecting this guy to pay us a visit this week, right? So again, we have the suit of communication, card of communication, but we see this dude here. He has the little fez on, and he is making away with those swords. Now, you know me, I'm not always going to jump to the worst case scenario. In its most positive sense, the Seven of Swords could just represent something that's not on our radar right now, something we don't see, something we don't know, something that we may even have a little confusion about. So it doesn't even have to be a bad thing. It could just be unexpected energy. And we'll dig into it to see if we could like really suss it out, what's happening. But when we get to the challenges of this, it can be underhanded, right? Like it could represent like thieves and liars and energy that's not trustworthy and very secretive. This energy can be super shifty. So there can be a warning attached to it. So I'm going to treat it as neutral for now until we see what it is. But to lead off a reading with the Seven of Swords, it's like, oh, what do you got going on here, my friend? For a portion of Capricorns, maybe you're on alert with something or someone where it's like, all right, I'm keeping my eye on you. Like that's another vibe I'm picking up here. I don't want to get too intuitive just yet. Now, moving to the middle, this really could ground our whole reading down because although we have like all this mystery here on the outer ends, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Beautiful. I always say to me, all aces are opportunities, they're offers, they're very much conversational. So messages, talks, back and forths, they're open doors. So for a lot of Capricorns, there could be new pathways opening up for you, new things entering into your experience, especially with the Ace of Pentacles. This is great for money, work, and finance. So we got new paths and fresh energy. That's the beautiful thing here. So I'm excited to see if there are some open doors, if this isn't just communication. But the downside to aces is since they are so new, since they are so fresh, there's a ton of energetic potential, but they can be a little bit flaky, right? Like it's not a guaranteed energy where it's like, okay, you need to seize this. If the universe puts something in your pathway, you have to make the move to take this Ace of Pentacles, right? So we'll see. And sometimes it could even be like a carrot on a stick thing, right? So watch out for any things or situations where the goalposts keep moving, right? It's like, oh, you almost got it. Oh, you almost got it, Capricorn. On the back end, we do have the Two of Swords. And again, we're going to take this in a very neutral way. We see the person, they're hoodwinked, they're blindfolded, they're on a beach, two swords crossed, it's nighttime, we have the moon, so a ton of symbolism of the unknown. Now, in its most classical form, all twos can represent partnerships, they can all represent decisions or being at a crossroads, but this card classically represents confusion or the unknown. Now, again, the way I see it, I just call this blanket statement mystery, right? So whether that's in the good way, where it's like, all right, well, maybe there's something coming that I don't see yet. Maybe my intuition's telling me that something's on its way, even though it hasn't materialized. Sure. But at the same time, if it's not confusion, it could be something that spirit really wants you to keep a close eye on, right? Especially with the Seven of Swords in the front. There could be an energy here of skepticism as well. Like, again, with all this stuff, it's like, either there could be a thing or a situation that you need to keep your eye on. But I want to dive deeper on all of it, Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. Pardon me. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Seven of Swords. Let's see if we could get more detail here for you, my friends. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Seven of Swords. What is happening? Good. Yeah, this energy is like, stay sharp. Keep your eye on this, Capricorn. All right, we have the Knight of Pentacles in the upright, big earth sign energy. It is also one of your power cards. Something I need to mention, knights represent action and communication. So there is something here about like the words someone is saying or what they're trying to say to you or communicate to you. Like it feels very subtle, like between the lines type of thing. You know how sometimes people talk in code? Like if you have a friend group or people that you're close with, it's like we're talking in code. I know that's super specific, but that's kind of the vibe this has given me. Now, the Knight of Pentacles, aside from being one of your power cards, aside from the action and the communication and all that stuff, he is very, very meticulous, super detailed. Look at him inspecting this coin closely. So when I see this underneath the Seven of Swords, it's like, hey, Capricorn, keep your eye on this thing, keep your eye on this situation, keep your eye on this person. So if there has been this little intuitive feeling where you might feel like there's a disturbance in the force, or if there's like, something's not feeling right, I don't know what this is kind of an energy where it's like stay on alert. Like you just keep your eye on it, you should be all right, which I think could be good. Now, I'm not saying that you're dealing with an earth sign that's being shifty. I mean, maybe for some of you that's the case if we're going to be hyper specific. But the main thing to me is that there is this person or situation that you need to take seriously and just be alert. Keep your eye on it. So I would keep your head on a swivel in this time. We're going to see if we get more detail as we move along. Um, there's something also here about fine details too. I think I got this in like the Sag reading this week. It was like, yeah, no, just pay attention to the fine details, pay attention to the small things. The answers you could be looking for might be within the mundane or the small things. We're going to keep going. Let's see. And I don't know what this talking through code is, right? But we're going to see what's up with that Ace of Pentacles. What's happening? And yeah, I connect with a lot of you beautiful Cappies in personal readings and sessions. And, you know, Capricorns usually don't speak in code, right? So maybe it's somebody else. Usually, like with Capricorns, what you see is what you get. They're going to tell it like it is. But let's see what's up with that Ace of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we have the King of Swords in reverse underneath this Ace of Pentacles. I don't think this is like bad intentions, but at the same time, I don't know if I quite buy this. What the words that are coming out of this person's mouth, and I hate to say it like that. It sounds like super aggressive. Now, usually the King of Swords is very honest, straightforward, to the point. Watch out for people making big promises here. Like with the Ace of Pentacles, King of Swords in reverse, it is that carrot on a stick, where it's like, all right, Capricorn, just do this and you will get the reward. Just do that and you will get this. And it's like I'm constantly chasing this carrot on a stick, and it's like every time I almost reach out to it, the goalpost moves. That's hyper specific. Again, only take it if it hits. But watch out for any situation like that. If we put that message to the side, we're going to stash it in a basket for now. King of Swords in reverse can sometimes be a little cold and mean, but when I see him in reverse, I think of an energy that's just saying what you want to hear. So watch out for any person that just tells you what you want to hear. Like, all right, Capricorn, here you go. I mean, I know like this reading is coming off a little, I don't want to say harsh, but it's like just watch this person, watch this situation, watch the words they say. And I always say when it comes to anyone or anything, the actions speak louder than words. Like someone can promise something up and down all day, 24/7, but if the actions don't align with the words, there's your answer, right? So with anything, whether it's work or personal relationships, watch the actions, not the words, because in the center here I get this vibe of like I'm going to say the nice things, I'm going to say the things you want to hear, but am I going to follow through? Let's keep going. Let's see what's up with the Two of Swords. So again, there could be a situation or even a person that Spirit wants you to be aware of or keep a close eye on. That has come up multiple times, whether it's the actions or the words or both. Spirit's like, hey, just head on a swivel, in this time. It doesn't even have to be some, like, to me, it could even be someone that you don't even really know that well. Like, if you have this little feeling, it's like, just keep an eye on it. Like, you want to keep tabs on this thing or this person. Let's go in on the Two of Swords. We'll see what that has, then we'll do a quick recap. I'm not trying to raise an alarm here. Okay, so more communication. I do have the Ace of Wands, which I think is usually really good. We have the fire air combination on the back. So the energy of like breakthrough potential that I was picking up last week is still lingering in the energy, which is good. So maybe this is something that's completely different. Now, I do also get a potential result that you might not see coming. And I know for a lot of Capricorns, you're really good at reading the tea leaves, so to speak, where it's like, okay, I've seen this before. I know what direction it's going in. I got my ducks in a row, but watch out for like sudden twists or results where it's like, oh, okay, that took a turn. It's like one of those. And that could be a great thing for some of you. Remember, like aces are good, aces are opportunities and open doors. So, in the most positive sense, for some of you, like, even if this energy is a little shaky on the front end, like this energy could be the good energy that pops up. Now, the Ace of Wands is very fiery. It comes at you quick. Like the energy comes in, it's hot and heavy. Lots of energy here. Watch out for urges too, and that could be another thing with a person, like me, whether they have a big temper, whether they're urge-driven individuals. I don't know. Like the energy, to me, feels like I need to take caution here with this thing, this person, this situation. That's just the vibe I've been getting since the beginning. And you know me, I'm always going to give you what I feel. Um, I'll give you the positive and the silver lining, but I'm always going to give you what I feel, no matter what. But yeah, the words and the actions too. All right, let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadow. So we have some themes here this week, right? We got two court cards, two aces, two of the sword cards of mystery, and the two itself. So watch for the repeating numbers two, which usually represents partnerships. But in position number one, we have the Seven of Swords, Knight of Pentacles. Person, situation, be very detailed and meticulous. Watch the small things, the small details, and just be cautious. Like that's the main vibe I'm getting up here. It doesn't mean you have to, hire a private investigator or anything like that. To me, it's like just play it safe, right? Dot the I's, cross the T's. Even moving to the middle, we have the Ace of Pentacles, King of Swords in reverse. This does feel like a moving of the goalpost or a carrot on a stick type of thing. Aside from that, it could be someone that says the right things, but the actions don't always follow up. So there could be a very specific person to beware of or watch out for in this time, especially if they're very slick with their words. On the back end, we have the Two of Swords with the Ace of Wands in the upright. We still have this breakthrough energy coming in. This could be a result or a sudden twist where it's like, okay, that took a turn real quick. So watch out for any surprising situations for sure. But I would say this energy, just be cautious with it this week. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. And yes, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Cappy? Okay, cool. Five of Cups. I mean, this is a common shadow card to have, right? I mean, as human beings living the human experience on this material plane, we all go through this from time to time. Now, the Five of Cups is the River of Tears card. And I always say it's not always worst case scenario. Sometimes this energy could be a day where you just get up on the wrong side of the bed. Maybe it's a little gloomy, like there's a storm outside and the sun's not out, and it's like one of those. The energy can feel a little deflated. So watch out for anything like that in this time, whether it is a result, how someone's acting. It's like, oh, I feel deflated. I feel tired, right? That's something this is making me feel. Now, in the positive sense, the Five of Cups is just a temporary bump in the road. That's one thing we could always draw a silver lining around here, where it's like, okay, this is just a bump in the road. The energy just needs to process, then we'll be onward and upward, which is usually pretty good. But this can represent unresolved things that are still within us, or an energy that's unpleasant. So maybe someone needs a good cry, right, to like release the emotion. But yeah, Capricorn, that's what I got for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the August subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The August calendar is up and spots go quick, so you might want to check that out. But for the August subscriber surprise, we're doing another winner's choice. I will choose 3 winners at random to either choose the Dreams of Gaia Tarot, which is an absolutely stunning deck, or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, out of all the cards that showed up in your reading today, which one intrigued you the most? Which one caught your attention and why? And you put that in the comments, you'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my community tab / post tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.